Welcome to Moving Mountains. We have Marc Steyn with us in the bus. Thank you so much for joining us, Marc. Thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you, Tim. What a privilege and what an honor to be here. Thank you. Thank you for even considering me to be able to testify of what God has done in my life.
Well, let me tell you what you guys are in for a real treat. Okay, so Marc, let's dive straight in to where you're from and what do you do for a living?
Okay, born and bred Joburg guy, born in Edenvale. Grew up in Troyville, Johannesburg, and then got married to a beautiful woman and moved out here to the east, not the far east, but the east. And made a residence here, our family here. And this is where we stay, in Boksburg.
Beautiful, man. Okay, second off, what do you do for a living? You don't have to tell us the whole story, but just what do you do?
I'm an electrician. Electrician, trying to calm down a little bit. My sons have more or less stepped in and taken over the business. And so that's where we are. But I'm getting a little long in the tooth now. I can't handle it anymore.
Lucky you got two strong boys for South Boys.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that is a bit of context. Let's go straight into power story number one. Wherever you want to start off in your life, God has moved some serious mountains in your life. So let's kick it off and let's get going.
Yeah, thank you. Let's, if you don't mind, just give you a bit of background. I came from a different era of time that we're living today. I was very rebellious and in my ways. I did all the things that godly people shouldn't be doing, which was not really good, so we decided I was really struggling in that sense of my life to find my feet, as a young guy. And around about 35 years old, doing whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, thought I was the main cat, and decided to be action man for the year. And as it started off first, went bungee jumping. And, the experience of your life.
The best ever.
And my mate at the time, unfortunately, he passed away last year. He said to me, before you can do this, you can only jump off. I did a crane in Johannesburg, and 40-meter crane. And they said to me, no, you have to dive off. You mustn't jump. You must dive off the thing. And nevertheless, I dived off, listening to this guy, and all I felt myself saying, I'm dead, boom. I'm dead, boom. And so it was not really pleasant. And then he decided to go parachuting.
So this mate of yours was kind of like an adrenaline junkie. Correct. And he's like, Marc, come on, let's go for it, man.
Yeah. So it happened to be, we go the first week, so 2 weekends apart, and that you're supposed to be doing. Then we go the first week and we get entirely, totally lost. All right. It was as if something was, I didn't know then, saying, don't go. But hello.
What do you mean? You guys couldn't find the place?
Couldn't find the place we were supposed to go to this place in the middle of just out of the edge of Pretoria.
First sign, when a group of guys gets lost, take it as a signal.
Well, in my case, it should have been. Okay, well, so we decided we're driving, we get lost and we decide, and then, because we didn't have GPS in all those days, all right? So road map came up.
An atlas. When was the last time you used an atlas?
So yeah, we go down and we get to this place, and the guy accepts us. He says, "You're late, but you know what? Don't worry, you can come." So we go for the first week. So it's over 2 weekends, and the first week they give you the theory and all that. But you must know these guys are all paramilitary. They've all done this before. They're all macho hero guys. You know what I'm saying? So you standing there, you think. And the other thing is, I want to tell you, there's a trick. If anybody wants you to go bungee jumping, just eat more than 105, 103 kilos, because they won't allow you to jump if you're more than 100 kilos. So in any case, I go The next weekend, we do it, and we're going to do our first jump, static jump. Okay, so you hook on, and you jump out this perfectly flying machine. Any guy that does that needs to be really seen to. I'm serious.
Absolutely, man.
So I'm get there with, I'm really not frightened at all. Nothing really pumped up, full of the ego and everything. I jump out of this plane, and so you have to look up and make sure that your ropes aren't tangled, anything like that. And you go, and this thing goes crazy. So you're supposed to count 2001, 2002, 2003, 2010, then you only open. All right. I didn't care about that. I said about the 2003, I said, there's to get this thing open. I tell you what, Tim, when I jumped out there, you can hear everything. It's like as if you're by yourself in the world. Unbelievable.
So did we do a solo jump or was
solo, but you use static.
Yeah, static.
So it opens the chute itself for you.
Yes.
So we came in and it was a square canopy, so you can guide it and do it. There's not a round canopy like they use in the military, And so we went down, coming down, and all of a sudden the silence hit me. The silence is just unbelievable. You're just floating, it's silent. But all I'm looking down and I'm saying to myself, if I survive this, I will never do this again in my life.
So at that point, was your parachute open?
My parachute was open.
So you're just floating down merrily.
Yeah,
your adrenaline is through the roof, and you're like, I just hope I land properly.
So we're coming right to the side. So at a certain type of meters, you not only turn your canopy. So they give you a Batman, a guy. So he shows you how to actually when you must flare him to pull the ropes. All right. Pull the brakes, the ABS.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at 200 meters, he made me turn. The chute, he showed me to turn, all right, with my hand. And I did, so my feet went higher than the canopy. So like a whip. So you're falling very, very fast, okay? I think something like 24 kilometers a second, something like this. Something like you're falling. Believe me, you're falling, okay? And especially the last piece. And so 200 meters. And so I pulled myself up to spin like this at 200 meters. By the time I looked again, I was over this guy and I was in the ground. Boom. Straight in. No ABS, no brakes, no nothing. And the first time as a grown man, all right, that I really thought I'm going to cry now from pain. It was the most excruciating pain I ever. And I tell you what, you've seen in the movies, these guys break their legs and they run around for 300 kilometers. Believe me. So what had happened is I felt that my left foot was just gone. But my right leg, all right, it felt like my bones had torn right through my skin. So I grabbed the belt of the chute and I start biting from the pain. And I'm running like this, and the guy says to me, so they take their time, there's nothing wrong with you, just, you probably just sprained your ankle. The guy said,
well, from the scar, nothing much.
The guy says, he picks up my leg like that. I said to him, in Afrikaans, I said to him, but my legs, just check it. I haven't gone to my skin. It feels like I'm going through I'll pierce my skin, right through. The bone's gone through my leg. And he goes, no, you probably just sprained it. And he picks it up and it goes because of the pain.
Oh, my word.
This is what I'm trying to remember, it's been a couple of years. So they haven't got, there's no medical stuff or equipment or anything like that. So they take, in those days, your 1400 bakkie, but this is a 1200 bakkie in those days, all right. So that's how old it was. Okay.
Listen, 1200.
28 years ago. So they throw me back of the bakkie. And this is where the interesting part comes in, all right. Every school day, every school week that we had, I went to a dual medium English Afrikaans high school. And Mondays, you would say, our Father.
Yes.
In Afrikaans.
Yeah, the Lord's Prayer.
The Lord's Prayer in Afrikaans on the Monday. And on Fridays, you would say the Lord's Prayer in English. So the days that I did go to school, I had to say it, all right, if it was on a Monday or Friday.
If you decided to attend school.
If I was there, all right, which was a long time. So, okay, and so I'm lying there, and my cousin, or it's actually Debbie, my wife's cousin, he was a fantastic guy. He goes with me on the back of this bakkie. But they're driving. Now this guy's cruising. And every bump, it feels like this. My legs are being ripped apart. Pain is unreal. So in my head, I say, what do you say? God help me. God help me. I don't even know God. Okay, but I say, God help me. Because nobody else can help me at the moment. So I'll try and say the Lord's Prayer, and you cannot believe it. All I can say, our Father, onze Vader. I couldn't remember it. I blanked. Okay. Long story short, end up Eugene Marais Hospital in Pretoria. So it's quite a distance there on the back of this bakkie. Well done, like this.
So hold on a second. Let's just go through your mindset of when you're cruising from the air and you now know you're in trouble and you're about to hit the ground. What's going through your mind at that point?
That was the amazing part. All right. It happened so quick and so fast. Funny enough, there was a guy that took a photo as I landed. You know the movie Rocket Man, where the guy stands? It looked like that. And out of anger one day, I looked at this photo and I just tore it up. I said, that's not me. I'm not Rocket Man. I tore it up. I should have kept it. But in any case, so ended up.
What was going through your mind as you're about to land?
It's the searing pain. That's all, because I hit the ground so fast and so hard. No time to think.
So just before you're about to land, you're not thinking, I'm going to die. This is it. This is how I go.
It was like a blind spot sort of thing. As I was coming, so remember my canopy, and then all of a sudden I was like this, and then I flipped myself. By the time I flipped myself, I was in the ground.
So it was all just far too quick for you to comprehend.
No, to even know. But all I know that at that time, I experienced pain that I've never had in my life.
So they load you onto the back of the bakkie, and now you feel every stone on the road.
Every stone, yes, exactly. And we get there to the hospital, and they do the most marvelous thing. They pump me with morphine. The craziest, coolest day of my life. After that, I cannot remember much. All the x-rays and all the things. In any case, they operate on me that night. Now, orthopedic surgeons are the most unique people in the world. To be able to cut up people's bones and put them in, there's something not 100% with these people, I'm telling you. So in any case, I happen to be the first guy that they try a new technique.
Oh, wow.
So he takes it from my knee into my ankle, because now the bone split and crushed and everything on my right, my tibia and my tibia we can't do nothing about it, but my tibia. So they hit a steel rod, a stainless steel rod, from my knee into my ankle,
all the way down.
I must have been quite. But I'll tell you what. All right.
So were you under anesthetic?
Yeah, of course. He does the operation, okay. But you wake up now. And this pain is just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So he did it. But in doing so, being a new thing, when he had done it, the two bones, all right, we discovered didn't join. So what they would do now, they take pins and they take screws. You've seen the guys walking with the cages, and they screw them together, and that's how they join the bones. So I had done that. There was a gap in my so the whole bone, tibia bone. He sorted me out, crushed left foot. All my bones had just he put plates all around, screws in and everything like that. And this is the start of the deal. Now you must know, I'm a young man, 35 years old. My business, I specialized in climbing high masts, doing floodlighting.
Oh, man.
So my business is gone. I've got a 2-year-old little boy. I've got a 9-year-old boy. And I've got a wife that has to travel from Joburg, from I can't even remember. Oh, yeah, we're staying here in Boksburg, and she had to travel every day, every night to come see me. Businesses, the business is going through. People are phoning me. In those days we had the big Pioneer phones. It comes with the speakers on the side, and it's a weapon at the same time. You know those big things.
Clients phoning you like this.
Hello. Excuse me, will you be all right? Ready for work? Can you come and sort this out?
Sorry, Paul. I fell out of an airplane.
So these guys. So this is what was happening. So after about the 5th day, depression hitting big time. I was, you feel sorry for yourself. It's a terrible thing. You're lying all. I remember something. I don't know Jesus. I don't know God. It's me, Pat Malone.
You're all by yourself in that.
I know nothing. I know nobody, and nobody can help me. You know? And so this carried on, and eventually get home.
How long were you in hospital for?
I can't even remember. I think 10 days or something like that.
So just over a week. You're in basically solitary confinement. You are in your own head. It's just you and your thoughts. That is it.
Exactly. And so, fortunately, Debbie, very strong, beautiful woman. She carried us. She carried the family. She looked after the boys. She did everything. Yeah? She worked, the finances, everything. Any case. And so, I had a couch where we stayed. I would lie on the couch. So there was you got plaster padders coming down your legs, both legs. I can't walk.
You look like a mannequin.
You're a forest. You're a forest. Right?
Yes.
So I've got all these things on me. I cannot move. And so what is keeping me going is the devil's tool itself. I'm smoking myself to pieces, my mate. And it's not carrying on like nothing happened, yeah. But when I get a chance, and so I want to tell you, my feet, all right, it came to a stage where I had no feeling in my toes. So I don't know if you remember those asbestos heaters. You know those?
Oh yes.
You know thin when they stand there. What do they call? You and with a handle you carry it. I could put my feet in there until I could smell burning. No feeling. Nothing, no?
Yeah, completely numb.
But in the meantime, what had happened is, all right, during this period, my father-in-law, okay, got also, he got radically saved. But and he was going regularly to church. He took Gareth, my oldest son, with him to church. Gareth got saved. All this is happening. And now I'm talking, what's happening, I think February, March, early. And then they got people to start to pray for me.
Did you know about it at the time?
Okay. So
you're at home, stuck, looking like a mannequin, Jim, blazing away. When can I light my next cigarette up?
That's it. As long as the cigarette's around, that's what was all right. We're living the painful life, Everybody must feel sorry for you, and you still. And I'll never forget. I would lie on the couch, and the missus would come home, and she'd look me up and down. I haven't moved. I haven't done anything. Everybody just called, back and called, bring this, bring that, So
this tray is full.
Okay,
and you're still very much depressed at that point.
Of course, right? The whole process, the whole time, don't know what to be, got no answers, can't do anything. Your kids are growing up. your wife, nothing. You can't lie in bed at night.
And it's almost like you're starting to realize how dependent you are on people. You used to be your own man. You can do whatever. Now it's like, oh, wow, I'm actually stuck.
That's precisely. And so I'll go through this process of discovering that I cannot stand on my leg at all. The pain is just too much. And I go and see another orthopedic surgeon. Unfortunately, this man left the country and he went away. Most weirdest man out. Weird man. He sits and smokes in front of you. All right? Okay? Crying. We walked a bit of the hip. It's so funny, eh? I can't mention his name, but so
if you're watching this, you know who you are. You did an amazing job.
Oh, crazy man. And he goes, let me just sidetrack a bit. We're sitting in the waiting room. Stacked. This guy was top orthopedic surgeon. He's sitting there, and a biker walks in with his boots and comes out, and the guy calls him, and all you hear is screaming in the back. Hey, now, what are you doing? You're swearing. What do you do to me? This guy had ingrown toenails. They just pulled it out there.
Pair of pliers. Let's go.
Joke? No joke. My uncle had broken his wrist at the same time. He had a pin. He went. He pulled his out.
Side cutters.
He was crazy. And he went sit like in front of him. Now, mate. Hello. Oh, okay, what's wrong? He's going. You take out a cigarette. You mustn't smoke. It's not good for you.
Thanks, doctor.
Saying this guy did me a huge favor. So, unfortunately, I had a very good medical aid, still from the electrical side. We kept it running, and he puts me on an X-ray machine that they use for. Actually, I don't know how you can move with it, and you can see what's going on. And he puts me on this table, and he takes my legs and he pulls me like this. I sit up straight. He says, sit down. I lie down. I feel the table like this. I was biting myself. He pulled my leg like this and he took an X-ray with his hands. Hold like it. My bones did not show him, and he took it. And he did a bone graft on me.
Yo.
Now, I just want to explain to you how much I smoked. I smoked so much that after the operation that I set off the fire alarms in the hospital. That's how much I smoked. All right. So we get there, and so the toppie, I called him the toppie, I was very fond of it. And my father-in-law, all right, and my mother-in-law, and my toppie, he gets saved. And they asked this guy, Mark, do you mind this pastor coming to pray for you and speak to you? I said, listen, I'm not ready for this. I've got so much things going on in my program. I haven't got time for this. These guys. And another thing is, you're all a bunch of happy clappies. You're a cult. I haven't got time for this. This is what my thinking was.
You guys are a cult, man.
They're orphan and cookers, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, these guys, happy clappies, very used in the church. Me, that's never been to really a been to church, but I know exactly what, I can criticize you as whatever I like, because you are what you are. So, he comes and he prays for me, and I said, look, I'm not ready for this. I'm not, please, what do you? I'm fine.
Tap your ass in front of me.
I'm serious. And very shortly after this, Debbie's uncle, his wife, and some other people, they go and get prayed in a guy had a caravan, but he had a healing ministry. And they come back and now they testify to me in front of us. So first the guy says, you might want to edit this part out, but in any case. So the guy says to us, this uncle, he says, I went there and the guy prayed for me. And we prayed for the toppie. And he says when he prayed, the top of his feet were like this. And when he finished praying, the feet were together. He had made the foot longer.
Oh, you mean he went in for prayer and his legs were uneven?
He said to him, sit still in his uneven feet. And he prayed for him and he did it. So, in near my vulgar state, all right, I said, Debbie, get the kids. Me and the boys. I want to go see dinner. I want to go see this guy.
Take me to the caravan.
Because if he can make his feet grow, I want him to grow us. And I'll only want you to just tell him to stop when I'm happy.
I'll get him to do stuff for me on my terms and conditions.
But but you must, in the central part of your body. That's all I want.
If that's how you can make things grow.
That's, what I'm saying. But then he's turning around, because I said, come, let's go. Sarcastic, And he says, but the other guy said to me, he says, I cannot grow in the ministry. It's because I'm a dirty Christian. Now, take this where you come from, all right? I'm a dirty Christian. It's because he saw the cigarettes in my pocket. He says, you're smoking. You are a dirty Christian. So, the other part didn't hit me. But something must have triggered when he said that. And he said, because God is with me. If I can stop this, God will be there for me. So in case they left that night, let's call it a Sunday night, okay? And so I'm lying there. At that stage, it's very difficult for me to stand up. I pushed myself up and I stood up. And I had because I couldn't go anywhere. As long as I had cigarettes in a packet.
What were you smoking at that stage?
Chesterfield.
As long as you got Chesterfield.
The first time they came out, it was the 50-pack that you could put in your pocket. It was not a big thing, in your pocket. But so I would have cigarettes just in case. You always have 2 or 3 packets left just in case.
You got an emergency box, you got a secret stash, you got everything.
In case I have an unopened box and I was just about to smoke. And I'd get up and I'll hobble up and I'll go. And I said, you know what? God, if you're out there, and you truly are there, all right, only you can take this curse. I didn't even know at the time it was. I said, only you can break this curse of my life. I cannot give up cigarettes in my life. If you can do this, then I know you're out there. And I went and crushed the box. So I did something.
Was that the first time in your life you pretty much prayed?
With meaning, with knowing that I didn't know God then.
Because you tried to pray on the back of the box, no words coming out.
Exactly.
Now the next serious prayer you're going for is, I got these cigarettes, this addiction, I can't kick it. If you're out there, and you start crumpling this box.
And I'll ask him, if you are out there, then only you can take this curse away. I don't say I'm going to follow you. I don't say I'm going to do anything. I just said, if you are out there and you're real, that's it. I took this box and I threw it in the dustbin. And I went to sleep. I woke up in the morning and my feeling had come back in my toes. The most unbelievable, indescribable thing had happened, transformation in me. And then it just escalated. I started walking. I didn't go straight away, get into the Word of God and nothing, And I started to be able to walk a bit again and go a bit, in a very short period, all right? And the topic was going to get baptized. So the week before he gets baptized, they invite me to church. Now, I would always go if they, I would sit and quiet the back there. I would never listen to this. Anyway, guys.
Can I support the wife and take the kids to Sunday school?
That's it. Whatever. And I was sitting there, and he says, Pastor Peter Hawksley, and he says, we're going to have a baptism next week. Now, I'm not listening to this, all right? I'm not concentrating, whatever the case. And he says, anybody else would like to be baptized? And just somebody lifted my hand. So, and now, I don't even know what the uck had said. All right, so he says, oh, fantastic, you're going to be baptized next week, but you must just do a little short lesson with me. Can you come after church this afternoon and come to my house? I was going, yeah, okay.
When you lifted your hand, did it have a cigarette in it?
No, I'd given it, so I stopped straight away.
So let's just let's back it up a tad. So you crumple these cigarettes up. You go to sleep. You wake up. You feel feeling in your feet, and you have no desire to smoke.
From that day.
Because the addiction is a crazy thing, especially like substances with, alcohol and cigarettes. Nicotine is just like your body wants that. It craves that nicotine. Now you wake up, and as if by the drop of a hat, you have no more craving for nicotine.
Nothing.
That doesn't even make sense.
Strangely enough, now I've come to think of it. No, the toppie also used to go on. And also, I was actually asked my mother-in-law, I'm sure he gave up this, must have been the same, more or less the same time, because it was this much of that.
That's crazy, man. So like, literally, chain smoker can't do without cigarettes. You get prayed for by the guy in the caravan.
No, I didn't. No, somebody else went. And all he said was, to this guy, you cannot be a good Christian, or you cannot, you can't, you can't improve or grow in Christianity being a dirty Christian. But so that's what was all.
So you don't even
know. I didn't even know that.
You didn't even go to the caravan. Someone went in to stand as a proxy for you. They were like, okay, cool. So I'm going to go there. And the person in the caravan told them, listen, you're a dirty Christian if you carry on smoking. And you just heard that line.
That's all I must have heard. All right.
You just heard that line. And the next thing, you tell God, listen, if you exist, take this addiction away from me, this cigarette thing. And you wake up the next morning, no desire for nicotine.
Nothing.
For those of you who are smokers and are watching this, that's pretty much impossible. You don't just sort of wake up in the morning and go, oh, there we go, I don't feel like smoking anymore after years of chain smoking. That's crazy.
From that, basically that day on, for the next morning, all right, till today, even when I see somebody smoking, I still say, thank you, Jesus, for taking that curse from my life. That addiction is something else. Alcoholism, it's a true thing, but for me, I was addicted. But I was a weekend alcoholic too. I drink and partied up to the best lights. But I never drank again from that day.
So smoking and drinking stopped that day?
I never smoked and drank since that day. Nothing.
That's crazy, man.
And this is what God never revealed himself to me. But he revealed himself in a way through this. But I still didn't comprehend, because I hadn't comprehended who's God in my life, you know. And so we get to this thing with the baptism. And I'm talking about a very short period. It's like unbelievable time, all right, that I can remember. So basically for 8 months, I was in wheelchair bound. Okay, then I couldn't move without myself. So in the September we did this, and
So you land up in church, your hand just shoots up, you don't even know why.
Exactly.
And then you go on this course that is...
So he gives me the course, but I rock up at his house, but he's so busy. He was busy transitioning and getting people to stay. So he was really into me, you know. It wasn't like, he doesn't sit down and like start to explain the gospel to me or anything. Nothing, all right? He puts down on a piece of paper in front of me. What does it teach me? The Lord's Prayer. He teaches me the Lord's Prayer, but he gives me the piece of paper. He says, but this is how he expected you to pray, how the Lord expects you to pray. And that's it. But he was so in a hurry, you know? So it's like supernatural. The next week we go get baptized. 180-degree turn in everything. I want to save the world. I fall in love with Jesus Christ. I meet him. I get to know him. I have the knowledge of him. I read 6 full Bibles in a year. I had a Bible open in every room, every place where I worked, on my tables, in my buckies. All I did was read the Word of God from different versions. I don't know about, you mustn't read this one, don't read that one, or whatever. I just fell in love with Jesus Christ and his Word. And I've never looked back since then. And that's so, but radical. I mean, that the family, even today, say, "Are you sure this guy is real?" The shock in the shock.
That's not the old Uncle Mark we used to know.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. Well, hello, this is, please, man, I was a vulgar, I would swear, and I couldn't talk without swearing. All these, the worldly things in my life, everything I did,
That is insane.
was just, and all glory, all praise, all honor to God. And
Totally.
Jesus Christ, when many years before this, Debbie and myself get married. But Debbie says to me, we must get married in the Assemblies of God Church. I said, I'm not a happy clappy, all right? What is the problem? She says, if we don't go there, you don't get married. I said, we're Methodists. I went to, remember, as a kid, my mom and dad would send me to little Methodist church. I think my sisters got ordained in what do they call it? Confirmed in the Methodist church with me. And I was so naughty that they wouldn't allow me in those churches. But in any case, so I knew very little about Jesus. Funny enough, I had a New Testament Bible that some guy gave me from a Methodist church when we went to youth. When we went to go look for the girls, and no girls gave me a Bible instead. But I never opened it, I never used it. So I said to her, she says, "Hey, I know that's it. We can't get married." So what happens is, good people, we have to go show our face now to church. I'm telling you something now, I've experienced things in my life. So I walk into the first time, and we get this guy's greeting at the door. I love my brother, and he's shaking. And,
Who's your brother, Charlie?
No, I know you. You love my brother. What is that? And he goes, and we sit down there, and I say, ping, pong, pong, they play the piano, they sing, hallelujah, they clap their hands. I was standing there. And then the most craziest thing happens. They break bread. Tim. Hi, forgive me. They take a cup and those things, and all they give you is like a doily. I don't know what a doily is, like a little piece of like paper. So, and then everybody in the church, nobody knew about AIDS or anything like that in those days, but and everybody would drink from the cup. Oh my Lord. And then the auntie and the top people would talk, and he would slip in their jaw. There you go, my brother. Tim.
No shorts, man. No way.
I want that thing for Debbie. All look through. I want me that thing. I said, "This toppy and the spit is coming out."
There's no way, Smith.
So he comes on, and then this auntie stands up, and she starts to go off in tongues. But all she's saying, to what I hear, "Shalom, shalom." So I come from a Jew. My dad was a Jew, and so I know a little bit of words. I know, please, but I know for shalom. Shalom is peace, all right? Or
Peace, yeah.
Hello, peace. And all this what auntie saying is shalom. I say, if God wanted to talk to us, why didn't he just talk to all of us? Why didn't he use that auntie? Because all she's saying is shalom, shalom, shalom. I come home and I tell my mother-in-law this, and she says, "You know what, Mark, the day that you get saved, the first gift you're going to get is speaking in tongues. I said, is it I can speak in tongues now? I can flip and do whatever I like.
I got my own tongue over here.
I got no tongue, but I can say. So, guess what? She prophesied into my life. The first day I get saved, all right? The Holy Spirit, I was baptized in the Spirit. I was baptized in water and in the Spirit the same day. Man of God taught me so much. Teaching pastor, taught me things, showed me things that I'd never seen before. It was magnificent. And then after he left, Ron Wilson came, character and a heart. Man, I clicked to that man. That was unbelievable. Left that, went to another churches. We went on. Things happen. Church happens. Believe me. Anybody that sits in a place and says, "Oh, I'm so happy," and for 25 years, believe me, church is happy.
Stuff goes down.
Things happen. You have just like you suddenly get so much head knowledge. You suddenly would think that the guy speaking heresy, and you have the auntie that looks at you funny, or you haven't said hello to that one. Please, man. Now, that's church. It's a magnificent church. And that's where we are. And today, I'm an elder in a church. I'm very grateful to be part of the ministry.
So let's just touch on the mountains that we moved here. Okay, so you are the roughest oak under the sun. You addicted to cigarettes. You go skydiving. Your legs are crushed. Now you pray to God and you literally say, "Look, I don't know you, but prove to me you exist by taking this addiction away from me." He takes that addiction away from you. And then what about your legs now? I mean, those things, your bones were crushed. So now how's that starting to progress? Is it just over time it's healing and all of a sudden you can walk?
I was doing a job in 2017, 2018, 2017, 2017, I think. I can't tell. We did a building, complete building. And this building had a 6,600 volts main switches that they have on the council side, and on our side, the voltage coming in, and we had to revamp and disconnect and clean and whatever, clean buzz bars and clean breakers and everything like this. And me and a couple of guys between the basement. Honestly, the van is too big that you got here, the interior of your van. It's very close space, but you got these main switches. I said, right. Now, switch on the mains. Now, as an electrician, you must know there's a certain sound that switchgear makes that makes your whole body tremble, seriously. And it's such a smack that comes in, when you switch on heavy power. I switch on this heavy power, boom. And, because now remember, I'm saved. I'm going to heaven. I'm Jesus Christ, blood of, I'm safe.
You're all Jesus down.
Hello, bro. I'm here. First pray, oh Lord, please don't switch on. And I say to the guy, right, let's just make sure that the phases are tested. And as I went like this, the thing says, who's it? Boom. So I'm over it. Like, this main switch blows in my, so it blows my face, but my hands, because I was holding the tester like this over the thing, the flames come out and just, I get burned to pieces. But so in the movies, you see those little kids in the old movies where they play that, or they play with dynamite, or they have a cracker, and you see the black face color. That's what I look like, eh? So I'm sitting there and I'm saying, yeah, but so I actually thought I'd burn my eyes out and all that. But I got so much adrenaline in me, eh? The whole building trips. The building trips. I have to reset. I'll make sure everybody still goes out. No, I'm burnt, eh? But I've got so much adrenaline in me. And I take the main switch and I reset it and I switch on again. But I'm praying. Tim, I'm praying like anything. But now, I'm starting to go into shock. And I switch on. Ollie comes back alive and I sit down. In the meantime, this is happening like super quick. They phone for the ambulance. Right, because I'm starting to go into shock.
The fact that you got hit by 6,000 volts on it.
The voltage was 400 volts, but it's the incoming. All right, so the power is 66. They put me a little ashtray. But in any case, so I'm burnt now. This main sheet, that's disconnector, and they phone Gareth, my oldest son, and he's coming from a party, a kiddies party. And so he left other side Boxburg, and we're working in the middle of town, middle of Elo Street extension. By the time he got to me, all right, he had beaten the ambulance that was down the road. He put me in a car, and he started to drive. And he drove so fast that I'm starting to go to shock. My eyes are burnt. I thought it was, my face is burnt, my hands are burnt and everything. And the pain.
Once again, you find yourself in a situation where it's just excruciating pain.
It's just unbelievable, all right. And I had a long sleeve shirt. It was cool. It was cool in the basement. And I had a long sleeve shirt, and this thing had melted against me. And so we rushed to the hospital. He rushes me in, pulls it in like really. Hi, God. Then I said to him, look, I'm game, but I don't want to die in a car accident. So
stick to the speed limit, boy.
Yeah, too late for that. He was there, and we get inside, and this nurse takes and starts to pull my sleeve out, and I automatically, like, my whole body goes. And Gareth, being a big boy, he actually said, you're ripping him apart. Leave him. And he went and he took my shirt like this. And he pulled the whole thing off me. One thing, and then I was like that. In any case, the hospital that they sent me to couldn't handle this strong. And they phoned Union Hospital.
So they weren't equipped to deal with that place. They were like, listen, man, you need to go to another place.
Nothing. So they put me in an ambulance, organized the ambulance for me, the missus, and we went to, in the meantime, the missus and everybody had come. Now I'm really, I'm going into all sorts of things that are happening to me. And we get to Union and we get to this Nigerian doctor. Man, he's a fantastic guy. God sent, believer, everything in there. And he says to me, you're going. I'm putting on your life support now. And
so what, at that point, was your heart rate like?
No, I was literally
on your way to dying. Eh?
This is it. All right. And so he puts me on life support. I have multiple, he scrapes me multiple hospital into the operations, multiple, and he goes, and this guy brings me through. Right. Now, he's not a plastic surgeon or anything like that. They have got trauma, funny enough, Union, very good Union, fantastic burns unit and trauma unit in one of the wards there. But he does this for me. And while I'm there, lying in the bed, my hands are covered, my face is burnt and everything like that. My eyes are doing that. So let's just tell you, so I had a visitation, and Jesus speaks to me.
Hold on a second. So you've been lying in this crazy amount of pain. You're in the hospital bed. You're in your own head. And all of a sudden, God decides to meet with you.
And he says to me, the devil tried to sift you. And I refused. My hand was over here.
Yeah.
In that time, it was a year, I had decided to become a vegetarian. The healthiest, most wonderful time of my life. Serious. I don't know what it is. It was just, I was the right weight. I felt so good about myself. I was awake. My energy levels were through the sky. Really, I felt fantastic. So, but a vegetarian, very, very little protein.
Oh.
I would have fish once a week, if I'm lucky. All right. That's all I would eat. While I'm lying there, this woman comes out from nowhere. Blonde-haired woman walks up to me and says to me, listen here, you're vegetarian? I said, yes. She says to me, well, I think you better put this aside. There's an enzyme that you need from protein. You can only get it from animal fat. All right? And if you don't eat it, your body will not recover. Your bones will not recover.
Sure.
So I tell the family, this woman says I must have protein. They pumped me protein shakes that was coming out of it. I had protein. People were buying Dina Michelle, beautiful, most beautiful people out. She would make me chicken in a soup, the Indian family, but it was made especially for me. She used to bring it to me. I look like a protein machine, but everything. Funny enough, something to do with the A, with the name of A, that you need this enzyme in your body to heal, to recover. Can you believe it?
Yes, man.
And as a vegetarian, you won't get it. You're not getting it. So this is happening. So I must just tell you, so I'm part of the Gideon International Association, all right. And while I'm there, I still have opportunity to spread the gospel, speak to people, hand out Bibles, pray for the nurses. I have such a good rapport over these guys. Favor, unbelievable favor. It's just unbelievable. And in the time, I even got time to testify about what God had done. If you to see my hands, it's embarrassment that other people have been burnt like me and what they look like. It's just unbelievable.
And have you got crazy scars?
Oh, look at my hands.
Yes, man.
It's very thin skin, all right? But look at this.
Did they do a skin graft or?
No.
Just grew back?
They helped me, treated me, gave me the right creams and oils to put on. But Jesus, my hands are nothing.
That's insane, man. So you get electrocuted from another level. Your hands are singed like little cocktail sausages. Your face is burnt, and that should have just cut you out of the whole equation.
So I've called it like a skin. It's a cousin to skin cancer, right? On your face. From that, I was peeled. My face was peeled. I still need to do a little bit there that I need to sort out again, but basically peeled. My face was like soft, like a little baby. It was unbelievable. My eyes, then I thought I'd lost my eyes. Perfect. I can't, it's taken because of the flashes, my short-sighted flash, but besides that, hello. Yes. Jacob, Israel, he couldn't see like when he was toppy, so what's really different. But
so you fell out, you crashed out of an airplane, you've been burnt to a pulp, you got miraculously saved from a cigarette addiction, and alcohol out the window overnight. Like, God has moved some serious mountains in your life.
That's why I can only say His love. His love is just unbelievable, Tim. To keep me a sinner, that still care about me, even know me by name. Please, man. It was like when I got saved, it was so radical that everybody a guy would come to me and say to me, listen here, I got no money. Jesus. A guy will come to me and I'll say, my leg's sore. Jesus. Everything.
You giving that to them as a solution.
That's it. Bottom line. You want it? Jesus, mate. I wanted to save the world. I couldn't understand the answer to all your problems, the whole world's problems, is Jesus.
Unbelievable.
Seriously.
Going from someone who was like, listen, man, take this Jesus stuff out of my face. It's a bunch of nonsense. Take God, like, where is he? I don't even know if he exists. To someone praying this most simple, basic prayer of like, God, if you exist, please, man, just pull through for me. Just do something. That simple, broken, uneducated prayer starts you off on the journey of a lifetime.
The only thing I can say when I look back, it's embarrassing that Jesus Christ really cares so much for me. You know, really, how can you ever say thank you? There's not enough words in our vocabulary, in my thinking. I don't think even speaking in tongues for 5 years we'll be able to say thank you to Jesus enough. It's just how he's worked in our lives, and he hasn't stopped. That's what's so perfect about Jesus. He doesn't stop. He doesn't just say, bring you up, put you on the feet, your feet on, take you from the clay and put you on the solid ground. No, he doesn't leave you there. He takes you through the journey. All you have to do is accept it and be with it. And if you can grasp the love of him, and this is it. So so many things have happened in my life. It's just, if I tell you a story, I'm sitting in a traffic jam, Harrow Road. There's no way. There's impossible. So when you take the off-ramp, it's just over today. When you would take the off-ramp, there's no way. There's just cars all going to Sandton. You cannot get onto this thing. So it's not like today where the taxi would come around on the sides and just, we have a bit of law. Okay. And a guy in a petrol tanker comes behind me driving, and he can't stop. I'm the car that's going to hit. All right. I turn the wheel and just drive. And there was a spot for me. The guy goes past me and hits the bank and goes up in the bank.
That was you gone if he hit you.
Oh, please, man.
And on the busiest intersection.
You cannot believe these things, man.
God at that moment makes a little gap for you just to, there you go.
In my thinking, I'd rather hit the car next to me than be killed. Crushed. We were going to crush us all. And little things like that. Daily you'd be walking with God. For my life, I cannot tell you enough. Favor. My eldest son played very good rugby, front row forward. His neck gave in. The compression on his neck, on his spine. And get a name from a doctor. I phone him and he says, come and see me. And I take him there and they say he needs to be operated on so that he can sort out his neck and that. Now, this is how God works. He's from Turkey, this guy. He'd come up with a system. Now, normally when they operate on the neck, that's why a lot of our rugby players, top guys in that, they go and see the wrong guy. They cut your neck over here, and they open it and they work inside your neck from there. I don't know how they do that, but in any case, that's how they do it. And then they have stiff necks for the rest of their lives. This guy cuts a little hole, 20 millimeter diameter pipe. He puts it's got 300, and he does everything from here. He goes into ICU. Has the operation, goes into ICU. The next morning wakes up. 6 weeks later, he was back on the rugby field, scumming again.
Hasn't learned his lesson, but he's well.
Jesus Christ. The power.
That is unbelievable, eh?
Sonny, my younger son, goes in the rugby field, big boy, strong, wants to run over people, gets tackled, falls, got completely contorted. His kneecap snaps. Oh, the kid was in pain, unbelievable pain. And got the right doctor, the right guy to sort it out. Okay, fixed up. Yeah, he's running a bit slower than he did before, and he's not playing rugby anymore.
His car's pulling a little bit to the left.
So this guy was in so for Garrett, he was in the country for 3 months. 3 months. He was getting his feet in the practice. A neurosurgeon, right? All right? You can't get an appointment. You can't get walked in, did it? He sorted him out. The same doctor, my kids were doing kickboxing. And I got very friendly with their coach. He was a fantastic man. He was middleweight champion in the EFC. Power guy. And he a freak accident. He was doing grappling and he snapped his neck. And he was going to go for an operation. And we hadn't seen him, and we had just rocked up there to train. And he said to me, he's going up, and they're going to cut his neck, and he's going to be, I said, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. I was always wondering why I was here. I can tell you, God sent us here for a reason. For a reason. And this is the reason. Phone this guy, phone the surgeon. And you sort you out, right? Now this was before he became a middleweight champion, eh? So he says, but you can't get an appointment. I pick up the phone, eh? And I said to him, his missus, his wife, is the reception. I said, please, can you make an appointment? This guy desperately needs you. She says, what for? And I said, for the sports injury. And she says, no problem. 11 o'clock, come and see me Friday. The same day he was going to be operated on. 7-8 months later, he became the EFC middleweight champion.
Yeah.
Cannot believe it.
Yes.
Cannot believe it. Snorted him out his neck. He doesn't fight in the EFC anymore, but he still does jiu-jitsu, grappling. That's neck stuff.
Do you know his name and what the fighter's name is?
Of course, JP Kruger.
What? Tinkerbell.
Tinkerbell. That's, ask him. You can testify to that.
There you go, eh?
It's unbelievable.
So through your older son's injury, you meet the surgeon who can just do another magic trick on your neck without having to cut everything open. And you meet this guy, and then God uses you to put that surgeon in touch with who a lot of us know, if you're an EFC fan, JP Kruger, Tinkerbell, I mean, lethal in the ring. But there's a backstory of him being referred to this surgeon to actually be able to go at it in the ring.
And I used to get it to testify. Do you know that?
JP Kruger.
Also, a Christian boy, he loves Jesus. When he coaches them, for every punch is for Jesus, every kick is for Jesus. Serious, he's a fantastic guy. We love him, love JP.
A lot of the time, God uses people to move mountains in your life. But then there's those occasions where people don't come along. He himself just comes there and moves that mountain for you. For example, addicted to the nicotine of the smoking, couldn't kick the habit. And all of a sudden, he waves a magic wand and poof, it's gone. Those kind of things are just insane. Where God just steps in and goes, okay, cool. I'm calling an end to this one because you called out to me for help. That is crazy. And then there's the other part of it where we ourselves get used to move mountains for others, or those others are being used to move mountains out of our way. And I think it's just amazing how we see people have moved mountains, being used by God to move mountains in your life, just by a simple sentence that they've spoken, saying, you can't be a Christian and smoke. I mean, gosh, God loves the smokers. He's after the soul, man. He's not after the Peter Stuyvesant in your pocket or whatever you were smoking. He's literally after you. And what the crazy part is what turned your heart was a little phrase that you heard, and then a desperate prayer. Bam, smoking gone.
Simple.
So let's just conclude everything over here. Okay, so rough guy, couldn't care at all about God, Jesus, anything like that. And then you get hit with a reality stick of how tough you actually aren't when your legs get crushed from the parachute. You're on the back of the bucky, you can't pray. And then you get into the hospital and you come out, you look like plaster of Paris, you can't move. And all of a sudden you realize I'm very alone. I'm actually very dependent on people, and I'm not the strong oak that I thought I was, because I need people. I need God. And then you have the cigarette addiction, and you stand up and you say, listen, God, take this addiction away from me. He takes that addiction away from you overnight. He starts to heal your body. You start walking, you start doing jobs again. Your alcohol addiction is gone. And then you have this insane burn experience. You get burned to a pulp. Next thing, he starts to reveal himself to you with how much people care about you, how much people love you. And he starts to use other people to move mountains in your life. And I just think it's amazing how you should actually not be alive. You shouldn't be alive after being, after falling out of that airplane, after being burnt to a pulp. You should not be here, and yet God has still got you here. And that's just, I think, the most amazing thing is when you know my work is not done yet. My work is not done yet. You've been through all the stages of denying God's existence, even mocking it at a point. And yet, you find yourself being the biggest advocate for it. Biggest salesman, say, hey, I got a solution for you. It's Jesus.
Amen.
You can't even recognize yourself. That's literally two sides of a coin. One is that way, one is that way. It's polar opposite. And only God can do that, man. I mean, no human could have convinced you to just calm down, man. Calm down, Mark, and just start living a life that's actually, God honoring. No one could have convinced you to do that. And yet God just moves some chess pieces. He knows where to get you. And he's got you on a path which is another adventure in itself.
I couldn't have summed it up better than myself. Thanks for the hearing it coming from here is even more humbling to know that Jesus loves me so much and what he's done for me.
And one of the most encouraging things is to know that Jesus will look at our situation and he will stoop so low to come and get involved with our mess and our arrogance and our pride. He will stoop that low to come and sit in amongst your rubbish bags and go, okay, cool. Let's do something that's actually going to get you out of here. And he just wants you to call out. He just wants you to be like, okay, I don't see you. I can't smell you, touch you, hear you, or feel you. But I'm going to take a step out onto the water here and just go, you know what? If you're out there, please show me something, because I'm in the dumps right now. And it's often life just takes us through the dumps in order for us to realize how he has blessed us. When we see that breakthrough, we go, oh, it can only be God. Can only be God. So, yes, man. Any other power stories before we leave here?
I've got a funny one to say, but you might have to cut this one out. But in any case, let's go for it. Let's go for it. Yeah. So after my burns, my prostate, it's a bit personal, but my prostate.
No, that's the real thing, man. So many people go through it.
My prostate closes completely. They said it probably from me being so anxious and with my shock of my body, and so they released me out of the hospital. but I cannot pass.
You can't go in the toilet.
It's just blocked up. I've never had such excruciating pain. I say that all the time, every pain thing, but this was...
No, you go through some next level stuff, man.
It was seriously painful. And as a man, probably as a woman too, but that you cannot relieve yourself and the pressure that builds in your blood, and that is, you're going to die. You're going to really die. And so they take me straight from there. They make an appointment with a urologist in Linksfield. And I get to the urologist and I test him, and he gives you a couple of pills, and he says, listen, okay, I'll book you in for the operation. You need to have your prostate sorted out. You can go and have an operation on, I think this was a Monday, and you can have the operation Thursday or Friday, whatever, probably on Thursday. No problem, he says, but if you have a problem, then just go and to come to the casualty and ask them to put in a catheter. So I said, okay, fine. Yes, that night, I'm still, this is now 3, 4, 5 hours, and it's just building up, I don't know what to do. I say just take me to the hospital. So we first go to our local hospital again from us. Those acres. And I'm standing there, but I'm playing like...
You're like a water balloon that's going to burst.
My face it's the red from the pain and everything. And this woman, the first one, you see what level you're on. And she's taking her time and all that. And she says, no, I must go sit and wait. I said, I can't. I'm going to die. I got to get out of here. They put me in a car and they take me and they rush me to Linksfield. Which I should have asked straight away, but I went, just a catheter, take 2 seconds. Please put in catheter. No, you can wait for it, this one, yeah. So we get there. Dr. Charles, okay, catheter? Yes, I said, please, he just says it sweet. So he grabs the catheter and he puts it in, but I feel something go, but skew. All right. And that was embarrassing, people playing with you. And so, but I could feel something went skew. All right. And I'm coming, and a little bit of urine comes out. I thought, I'll leave at least, yeah. So they get me from Linksfield. I'm driving, I've got the catheter, I'm holding it like this. And I come home, and I lie in the bed, and Debbie goes and does something, she was doing it. And the pain, just unbelievable pain. Unbelievable pain. So I grab the catheter and I pull the catheter out.
No, man.
Woo! I shoot blood against the ceiling, the curtains, everything. But the relief on my face was from the pain was starting to go out of me. All right. So they took me back in the ambulance. They call the ambulance out. Now, there's a little bubble that in a catheter that you're supposed to release that bubble first before you pull it, because I don't care.
You pull that thing straight up.
I could just say, thank you, Lord, that I can even wee out of it.
That is crazy.
Emergency up. Like, so I couldn't wait. They don't wait. I said, I couldn't wait. I'm sorry. I couldn't handle the pain anymore. And sorted me out with the prostate.
And are you fine now?
Yeah, I'm straight. That's awesome. I'm lucky to even be able to be out of the thing. Yeah. So
that is into your own hands. Like, yeah, this thing's coming out.
I said it better. And our
Surgeon Mark is in the building, but
the blood all over my way. That shoots. I'll pull that thing out. I couldn't handle the pain.
So you've seen a whole bunch of interventions from people, as well as self-service. But literally, it's like you literally had doctors, eventually medical intervention. I mean, you've been a recipient of medical intervention like you can't believe.
Please.
I mean, those doctors, super clever doing what they did with your legs after your parachute accident. I mean, you shouldn't be able to walk today, and you stepped into this bus beautifully, clean. You should not be able to use your hands. Your face was fried. Here we are on camera. Great face. Hands fully operational.
Yes.
You shouldn't be able to go to the loo. And then medical intervention again. So I think mountains are moved in people's lives through medical intervention, and how God just uses skilled hands of doctors just to sort things out.
I just want to finish with this one, all right? So in the case, I'm lying on my bed here one night about 10 o'clock. And my house doesn't make a bend. So you basically, it's an angle to the road. So that if you were coming up the road now, you have to turn to go parallel with my house. And around about 10 o'clock at night, I've got cameras around the house, for security and that. And all I see is, I just hear this major bang. Boom! And I look at the camera and I just see there's a guy in a car that, with his bakkie, he had gone into the wall.
Oh, man.
And I said, I'm going to go, if I get up here now, I'm going to be so angry with that guy, and I don't want to do that. I'd rather just pray for him now and just, they deserve that. I see him get out of the car and open the door, so I said, on the camera, I'm watching camera. In the meantime, my son and his wife, and they started to walk outside to go and see what was going on. I'm not going to go. And then he says, I'm checking the camera, and I see this guy standing in the car, gets out in his like heavy shape, quite a big guy in a small bakkie, in a Ford little Bantam or whatever, a little bakkie, and quite a big guy. Gets out and he stands, but he's staggering, and so we go, and I said, yes, and I said, just go check if this guy's gone through my wall, because I'm going to be very upset, So he comes outside and all that, and he comes back about, let's call it 5 minutes or whatever, 10 minutes. He says, Dad, come and have a look. He's hit the tree, he's in the wall, but he hasn't gone through the wall. So I walk outside it. So this guy is lying in the road with his head on the pavement, but his head facing in the sand.
Face down.
He's face down in the sand. But I walk past him. I didn't even look. And so I walk past him, and I check. I see the car, and I see he hit 2 trees, and I've got big trees. He hit the 2. He clipped the first one, it spun him, and hit the other tree and put him into it. So I said, okay, there's no damage done to my wall. I'm happy. No problem. In the meantime, people are coming around, and there's a woman standing, comes around, and she they talk. I don't know whose family, I don't know who's anything like that. And I walk, and I hear this man gurgle. As I walk by, I hear him gurgle. And then he stopped gurgling.
Uh-oh.
So I casually, just go and run his head.
With your foot?
With my foot. And so that his head falls back like this. And the guy goes, and he starts to, breathe again, all right? Meantime, they're talking and I'm talking to them, and my neighbor comes around, and we're having a conversation, and the woman comes and sits next to him. And she's talking to him, and I look at the guy, and I said, the guy's dead, man. And I grab him. Now he was lying on his side. I picked him up like this. You know, big guy. I picked him up and I threw him on the ground to make him flat. All right? I hit him. Yeah, in his chest. Like this. Boom! And the guy goes, he comes alive. No joke. No joke. No joke.
That is crazy.
I hit him like that on his chest, and he starts to breathe. I said, he's dying. He was dead. Didn't even realize. She says, no, you just keep quiet. So, and I hit him. So I hit him, and he started to breathe. I said, lift up his neck. And I just about to give him mouth to mouth, and the ambulance pulled up, and I could see he's like, he was choked up from all the slime and everything. He was actually he was choked to death.
What? That is crazy.
So, and the ambulance came, and I said, well, that's it. My job's done. I've had enough.
Our body slammed him into the ground, and I punched him in the center.
I went, boom! I'm saying, and jerked, and the guy survived 100%. Right, and this is how God works. If I just carried on lying on that bed, the guy would have died in front of with me, and I should have been there to help him.
Yeah.
And God, at the exact time, the right time, took me out, go do my thing with this guy. The first time, honestly, when I rolled his head, the guy started to breathe again. So I just thought, okay, because, but he was covered in, he'd suffocated himself in the sand. And, so things like that. But this is how, all you have to do is to be available.
Amazing.
Just be available. And God's timing is so perfect, Tim.
Yeah.
We just have to understand this, see it. It's just how amazing it is.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the first time this has happened to me. Go pray for a woman. They called the family and everything, the last rites. And they said the doctors called her in. And I walked in, and not really believers or something like that, And I just came and I said, can I pray for her? Yeah, come while they called me. So I pray her. I pray, she's gone, all right. And I pray for her. And I just said, thank you. And I walked out, and I said, my condolences, unbelievable. She's gone. There's nothing we can do for her. But we'll leave it in Jesus. Jesus has her. She survives for another couple of years.
Wait a minute. So when you prayed for her,
she was gone.
Where was she at?
In the hospital. In the hospital bed. She was yeasty. I just prayed for her. But you won't believe it. So she gets sick again also. She had the emphysema in the lungs and that. And she said, all she could hear was my voice. She heard my voice speaking. That's all and she came out. I didn't know that, I just prayed for her. She went under, and she was same thing, comatose. Prayed her. How God had worked in this woman's life. Twice she was gone. Twice.
And you prayed for her both times?
She insisted. When she went to the hospital, please phone Mark. Come and get him. Come pray for me. We got there. She came out, and the Lord said to me the last time, he said, this is it. The next time this happens to her, there's no more. She must, and it came to pass. She passed away. It was like my toppy, the toppy that I'm talking about. You see the movie Die Hard?
Yeah.
The toppy. Get a phone call from my nephew. Go staying. They're staying with it. Come quickly. I'll go there. Tim, he's gone. He's gone. his arms lying down like this. Right. And I said, I'm sorry, my boy. Top is gone. Nothing you can do for him. Just pray. The Lord will help him and heal him and take him on the way where he was. And I'll go, but his arm's lying down. I take his arm and I lift up his arm and I put it on his chest. Okay. As I do that, the paramedics rock up. All right. I'm praying, you know. I pray, Lord, just be his portion, be his favor. Thank you for all the good times that we had, you know. And we come to monitor. Flatline.
No heartbeat, nothing.
There's no, they use the oxygen, nothing. There's no response. They take him up to the hospital. You know, there we all family, we very sad. We're sitting around the waiting room. And sitting. His sister comes out. Said, can we go see the old man, you know, whatever the case is. Says, yeah, just give us a minute. He's set up and he's set up now and he's really giving us a bit of a hard time.
Yeah. There you go.
We all get up and run. There's a toppies, no problem. Sweet.
Like, you know.
It's just how God is just unbelievable. And he knows exact time and all that. Really, he just refused to go. And I'll not be that, you know, not to say that anybody dies coming out and call me, I'll be there.
Yeah, call, I'll come and bring them back in.
It's just how God has worked.
Yeah.
And it's just simple prayers, you know, just, Lord, you know, take him in your hand. You have him. You know, you control him.
Yeah, so man, because like, you know, there's the CPR that can bring a person back to life, but not even that worked. That didn't work.
They didn't even put the pedals on him.
And then I guess the point where he's now just like, okay, I'm coming back. You know?
The paramedic came just before the sister came to him. He says, you know, sorry, you know, his organs are just, everything's gone. He's just gone. There's nothing I can do for you. I'm so sorry. And he walked, the sister said, you know, he's sitting up. Even this guy, he ran to go to, impossible. The guy was gone.
Yes, man. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Yeah.
So, so I've had fun.
Oh, man.
And may I continue to have fun. And things like this happen. But the only thing is, because it's so supernatural, that it's like being in a movie, you know, you don't even expect this. You can't understand things. When suddenly you got no money in the bank, nothing. Haven't got money to pay wages. And there it is.
Contract comes in. Let's go.
Pay the wages, pay the end of the year. Bonuses, you know, many families are relying on a little company to survive. You know, they work with eight people. Each one is supporting 8 people. There's so much. And it comes up, Jesus, man, Jesus, only Jesus.
And we just need to recognize it.
But this is what happens to us. We become complacent. And I'll be talking to you. I've just been reminded time and time again of what the Lord has done in my life. That's why I say it's actually so humbling that I'm embarrassed to think of how magnificent God has been in my life.
Amazing, eh?
Who am I? I'm nothing. I'm nobody.
Yeah.
I'm not Billy Graham or these evangelists. I'd love to be. Oh, please, hello. I'd love to be one of that, but I'm not. And whatever it is.
Marc Steyn in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your time. And it's just been insane to hear how you've lived a movie of a life. and how God has humbled you to realize that He's just been around every single corner. He's never left you. He's always been there with you. And it's an encouragement to us. So thank you so much for the encouragement. And for those of you who are listening, that's it on this episode. We'll see you in the next one. And that's it.
Thank you, my brother.
So, no, that was